I'm Karen and I run a little garden in Newport in the centre of England for small children to grow their own vegetables. And today I'm going to show you how to grow vegetables from seed taken from vegetables that you may have bought on the market. We have beans and peas, which are grown in similar ways, and we have a tomato. We're going to grow lots of tomato plants, and a courgette or pumpkin or gourd. They're all pretty much the same. So the first thing you need to do is to prepare some soil for your vegetables, and these you can find in most houses. They're very, very easy to make little plant pots out of. If you get somebody to cut 4 slits at one end, you can turn those in to make the bottom of a plant pot. And fill it with soil, like these two. So there's the bottom, all folded in, and it's full of soil, ready to take a seed. So starting with the beans, it's actually one of these beans we're looking at, and it's an old bean that has been left on the plant for long enough to produce big seeds. So if you break open a bean pod like that, you get seeds like this. The seeds that come out of peas and the long beans are very similar. They're slightly different shape and maybe a different colour, but you take those out in the same way. Having got your bean, it's important that you plant it sideways in so that this little mark goes in sideways. So you take one of your little pots that you've filled with soil, you make a hole in the middle, wooden spoon or a stick or anything, and you just drop the bean in. Cover it up with the soil and water it gently. And then you just leave it. And after about a week, you should see a little shoot appear. But I've planted some bean seeds in a jam jar here so that you can see exactly what happens under that soil. First of all, the bean swells up and grows roots. Can you see these roots here? It's quite a good system of roots. And then when it's got enough root, it sends up a little shoot. And this will be the first thing that you see in your pot. After about 4 weeks, you'll have a nice big bean plant with lots of root and a nice big healthy shoot. Before it gets quite as big as this, when it gets to probably about this height, you need to plant your pot in the ground outside. All you need to do is dig a hole, drop the pot in and water it well, and your bean will grow much taller than this. It'll get little white or red flowers on it, which the bees or other flying insects will come and pollinate, and then it will start to grow little beans like this for you to eat, or like that, or indeed peas, depending on what you've planted. The other thing that I have grown, and these have been in here for about 4 weeks now, these are baby tomato plants. I'm sure most of you will know what a tomato plant looks like. They're going to be very big, but this is how they start off. And the way to grow tomato plants is very easy. You don't need a pot like this. You need a tray to start off with, because not all of the seeds will be big and strong, and you want to take the biggest, strongest ones to plant on into bigger pots. So you take a tomato and you cut it in half. And there you can see the tomato seeds. If you take out these seeds, you only need a few of them. It's better if you can leave them somewhere to dry. If you can let this jelly dry out on a piece of paper, then they will grow better. But if you can't, it doesn't really matter. Take out a few seeds, pop them on the soil, cover them up or push them down a bit. And leave them to germinate. And of these, that is one that is late. It has only just started to germinate. And there's another one here. This is how they'll look at first. And then they'll get bigger and bigger. This is perhaps the middle-sized one. And these two are the strongest two. And then after another week, they'll develop a second set of leaves and they'll take off from then on. And a gourd, or a pumpkin, or a squash, again, you cut it down the middle. And here you can see they have quite big seeds. These are very, very easy to sow, and you sow these just in the same way as you did the bean. We're only going to do one now, but you take your pot that you filled with soil, you make a little hole, you pop in 2 seeds, because you take out the weak one. These like to grow in pairs initially. And when you've got 2 shoots, you decide which is the biggest and the strongest, and you take out the weak one and throw it away, and you'll end up with a really strong little pumpkin. Now, if you've seen pumpkins growing, you know they take up a lot of room. They wander all over the garden or all over the plot. So when you've got a strong plant, you need to put that in the ground outside where it's going to get plenty of sun, and you need to keep it well watered whilst it's still young. And I hope that you will be able to send photographs of your pumpkins to people and places, because I'd love to see you grow really good pumpkins and really good beans and really good tomatoes. So send us some photographs. Take care.